Now, the topic that we'd like to discuss or focus is the chemical shift, because we observe the NMR signal as a chemical shift against the intensity. So it is very interesting or very mandatory to know what is a chemical shift and how does we can define a chemical shift. Okay, the magnetic field at which a bare nucleus resonate is quite different from the field at which the same nucleus present in a molecule resonate. What does it mean? Because when we describe the theory, we observe that we have taken that a nucleus is a bare nucleus, means nothing else is attached to these molecules, or it is present inside an environment, restricted environment, or whatever. It's a simple basic nucleus present as a whole, but that is not possible. A bare nucleus is a identity or is a hypothetical concept. You can't find a bare nucleus. Okay, so whenever a nucleus, that is a proton, in case of proton, it's a proton is present inside a molecule or an environment, then definitely its environment influence its electron density, and if the electron density is influenced, then obviously the magnetic field that is originated because of this rotation of the electron density around these molecules or around this nucleus, that will be affected by the magnetic field, that is its field. The electrons that are said to shield or deshield a nucleus from the applied magnetic field depending upon whether the magnetic field generated by their motion is oppose or reinforce the field. That means when a proton present in a molecule, and because of the rotation or the circulation of the electron, bonding electron or non-bonding electron around this nucleus, the magnetic field that is originated because of this rotation of the electrons, if it reinforce the magnetic field of the external magnetic field, means reinforce means if the direction of the magnetic field and the external magnetic fields are same, then the proton resonate at very low frequency. And if the magnetic field that is originated because of the rotation of the electrons just oppose the external magnetic field, then to make the proton in resonant condition, we have to use a high frequency radiation. That means it's a upfield condition for the for the instrument to make it resonate. So it is better to mention here that the applied external magnetic field affects the motion of the electrons surrounding the nuclei and thereby inducing a local magnetic field. That means when electrons around the nucleus, particular nucleus, here in case of proton, when the rotation of those electrons, means the bonding electrons and the non-bonding electrons or the lone pair of electrons, their rotation or their movement influence the external magnetic field that a proton can feel. Because in case of bare proton, the external magnetic field is the same as the proton feels, but when the proton is present inside a molecule, then what the magnetic field it feels, it's not exactly same that what we supply as external magnetic field. It depends on the originated field that is obtained from the circulation of the electrons. Now the magnitude of the local magnetic field is determined by the electron distribution around the nucleus, and the difference between the magnitude of the magnetic field at which a free nucleus and the same nucleus within a molecule resonate is called the chemical shift. That means the difference between the magnitude of the magnetic field at which a free nucleus or bare nucleus and the nucleus within a molecule resonate is called the chemical shift. So this is the definition of chemical shift. That means whatever field a bare nucleus feels, it is exactly same that what we supply as external magnetic field. If we denote it as B0, then B0 is the external magnetic field that is supplied, and that is also filled by a bare nucleus. But when the same nucleus present inside a molecule, and because of this circulation of the electrons around this proton, the magnetic field that it's feel is not exactly same as B0. It is something different from B0. The difference between this magnetic field is then called chemical shift. So it is not possible to find a free or bare nucleus. So a compound that exhibit only a single sharp resonant line is used as a reference for measuring the chemical shift. That means to measure a chemical shift, it's because a bare proton or bare nucleus is a hypothetical concept. So it's not possible to find a bare nucleus to compare the chemical shift. So we have to use a compound which gives very sharp signal, and at the same time it can just behaves like a bare proton or bare nucleus which is present very shielded condition. Okay, so it is not possible to find a free or bare nucleus, so a compound that exhibit only a single sharp resonance line is used as a reference for measuring chemical shift. The most frequently used reference compound is the tetramethylsilane, or in short TMS, having the formula SiCH3 4. Okay, so why this compound is behaving like a chemical shift standard or reference compound? Because of this few reasons. It has 12 equivalent protons, because every methyl group has 3 protons. So in case it's a total 4 methyl group is there, that means 12 equivalent protons. And all protons are in the same environment. Okay, thus TMS gives a single intense peak in its NMR spectrum. And the second is that it has a low boiling point, that is only 27 degrees centigrade, and thus it can be easily recovered after the spectrum is recorded. Means after measuring your after measuring your NMR signal of the sample, you can easily separate this compound by just slightly boiling this compound or slightly boiling this compound mixture. It can easily vaporize out. Third point is it is chemically inert. It has no chemical reactivity at all. Okay. And the fourth point is, since silicon is more electropositive than carbon, the methyl group in TMS are present in the highly shielded condition. That means the electron density around this methyl group is much higher than other compound present. Okay, so TMS always shows a NMR signal at very high magnetic field strength compared to the other protons. So if the conventional NMR chart, if you can easily observe, the TMS comes at very right side of the spectrum. That means in the traditional delta scale chart, we will discuss about delta and delta scale also. It's present at the farthest right side, which is generally known as the upfield region. Thus TMS shows NMR signal at very high magnetic field strength compared to the other proton. The local magnetic field, now it is the behavior of the TMS why we use TMS as a NMR standard or NMR reference. Now the local magnetic field, that is B local, experienced by a nucleus in a molecule is related to the external magnetic field B0 by B local equal to B0 into 1 minus sigma. A new quantity comes as sigma, where sigma is called the screening constant or the shielding constant, and it's a dimensionless quantity. For the two nuclei, one for the sample and one for the reference, the local field experienced by them are B reference. If I take this compound as a reference compound, then B reference equal to B naught into 1 minus sigma reference, and B sample equal to B0 into 1 minus sigma into sample. Thus B sample minus, if I take a difference between the B sample and B reference, then B sample minus B reference equal to B naught into 1 minus sigma sample minus B naught into 1 minus sigma reference. If I just little bit manipulate, B naught cancel out, and B naught into sigma reference minus sigma sample. And if I just use delta in place of sigma reference minus sigma sample, then it comes as B0 into delta, where delta is the chemical shift or the nucleus for sample with respect to reference. So delta is known as chemical shift of the nucleus for sample with respect to the reference. In practice, we define the chemical shift of the sample as delta equal to B sample minus B reference by B0. Okay, B sample minus B reference by B0 multiplied by 10 to the power 6. Why it is mandatory to multiply this quantity by 10 to the power 6? Because the individual sigma reference and sigma samples both are very small. It is not a very large quantity, so that difference is also a small quantity, but we have to measure the chemical shift in a considerable amount or in a considerable or measurable quantity. To make it a measurable quantity, it's customary to multiply this quantity. That means multiply the difference of sigma reference minus sigma sample by 10 to the power 6. That's why we multiply this quantity into 10 to the power 6 to make it in parts per million scale. and we know that the B sample, the magnetic field that is experienced by the sample is directly proportional to the frequency that it absorbs. That's why in presence or in case of this B sample and B reference and B naught, we can use the frequency of the sample that it feels minus frequency of the reference and the instrument frequency that it runs. Okay, so delta equal to new sample minus new reference by new naught into 10 to the power 6 ppm. So this is the chemical shift scale, which is expressed in parts per million, or it can say it's a delta scale. Okay,